Hi, my name is Joseph Bornstein, founder of JStarter, Unleashing Jewish Potential. First off, Jews like to give tzedakah. How much do they give? On average, a Jewish donor will give 2 times more than other demographics, according to the Huffington Post. Furthermore, Jews, although they make only 2 to 2.5% of the American population, they constitute 25% of all American mega donors to foundations. However, 80 to 90% of Jewish charity dollars go outside the Jewish community to other organizations, leaving us with just 10% of the charity dollars coming from Jewish donors to do all of the amazing things that we do with the nonprofits and programs that we've built. So we have about $500 million for the Jewish charities today, and compared to the $7.4 billion of lost potential. So we're a scraggly little guy that's really doing amazing thing versus the mega sumo wrestler that we could be today. Plus, over the next 2 decades, those charitable foundations will be passing along $3 trillion to $10 trillion to their next gen heirs who are even more disconnected and not keen on giving to Jewish charitable causes, meaning that the opportunity of lost charity donations to Jewish causes will be even greater. The impact is that according to the Bikurim Foundation, 75% of all Jewish startups or recently post-startup nonprofits say that they can't access enough funds they need to make their programs run. So this is the current status quo of philanthropy today. You have a wide donor base with a whole bunch of different ideas and causes that they'd like to support. However, we have gatekeepers, which are centralized institutions to how charity dollars would get spent. So you have federations or large nonprofits with many different programs going on, and really the only option is for the donor to donate to these large institutions and not to really know where their charity dollars are going. This is diametrically opposed to the current trends of philanthropy around the world, and the Jewish community is lagging far behind. In a recent article by Philanthropy News Digest on the, quote, 6 key trends transforming Jewish philanthropy, regarding the future of Jewish philanthropy, the author writes, more donations and smaller dollar amounts to more organizations are what is held for the future of Jewish philanthropy. This means that startups and entrepreneurs in Jewish innovation sector could well reap the benefits. Here's a picture of what the future of Jewish philanthropy looks like. Donors have direct contact, participation, and transparency with the various causes that they want to support, whatever they may be, and the process is therefore inherently more democratic, participatory, and transparent, making the donor feel that much closer and in control of the charity dollars that they're giving. So how do we get from the future, or how do we get from today to the future? How do we break down these gatekeepers? Following our ancestor Yoshua, we need to break down the walls, and that's what JStarter is here to do, unleash Jewish potential. We are the matchmaker between Jewish creators and those seeking to be supporters and collaborators of fresh ideas. So let's look at the addressable market. First, a major component of JStarter is crowdfunding. What does crowdfunding have to offer? Well, we see a dramatic amount in the annual revenue in billions of dollars per year just from 2012 to 2013, making an 81% increase from around $700 million to over $2 billion. In 2014, it's projected to be $5 billion. In 2015, $15 billion in annual revenue. Now the question is, what percentage of that is Jews giving to those charitable causes or entrepreneurial endeavors? So $5 billion in 2013 times 1.5%, which is the average Jewish population in the epicenters of crowdfunding globally, and multiply that by another 10% because Jews are 10% more likely to give to charitable causes. And you have about $82.5 million of those $5 billion being spent is coming from Jewish donors. Multiply that factor, however, by 2 because Jews, when they do give twice as much as your average donor, and you have $165 million coming from Jewish donors raised through crowdfunding. Now, if you jump forward just a couple years, in the year 2015, backing up. Now, this number underestimates Israel's startup nation opportunity, which is essentially untapped. There's only one crowdfunding platform out there for Israel's startup nation. It's called Our Crowd, and in less than 3 years, they've already raised over $7 million of capital. They're an exclusively equity-based crowdfunding organization, which means that they're only looking to fund a handful of promising ventures that they've curated through a heavily intensive process, and they require a minimum of $10,000 of investment. Furthermore, another underestimation of the number I gave you before is that if we jump forward to the year 2050, it means that the market has suddenly become $247.5 million of Jewish charitable money that is raised through crowdfunding. Now let's look at the landscape of crowdfunding platforms. There are currently 536 platforms globally. Only one of them is Jewish, and it's being treated as a side project by the founder. So, what are the services that JStarter would offer? First would be crowdfunding. We'd offer reward-based and donation-based, which is the heart and soul of Kickstarter, the world's most successful crowdfunding platform. We would also offer an opportunity for people to lend their services to promising endeavors that they believe are worthy, and also equity investment like Our Crowd, as we've seen in Israel. Next would be an opportunity for collaboration. We would offer people a directory of curated services ranging from web development, social media campaigning, to graphic design. We'd also offer online workspace for people to join together should they choose to, a forum for free exchange of ideas and dialogue, and also regional meetups and other exciting events to spur the conversation forward, much like Aspen Institute. And we would offer a launch services package, premier campaign services like email campaigning, video development, graphic design. We'd also offer consultation to help make sure that a person's pitch deck and their business plan are well in order, as well as purchase fulfillment, i.e. an online store for those who want to present and build a new technology or other service that could otherwise be purchasable in a e-commerce context, much like Amazon. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, more important than any other opportunity potentially because of the tremendously fragmented nature of the Jewish community, is the opportunity for network expansion and outreach. Meet Susie. Susie is a liberal Jew living in Denver, Colorado. Now, she has a strong Jewish pride, and she is Jewishly involved in a casual way. She encounters JStarter and realizes, hey, I have an awesome idea that I would like to bring to my community. So she goes out, she begins talking with her Jewish friends who are also casually connected, her grandmother, her parents, friends of friends, teachers, so on and so forth. In today's world, through the power of Facebook, social media, and personal networks, an average person has around 500 people that they can directly reach out to get funding from. That means that all of a sudden, those networks are going to be built that never would have otherwise been possible. It also is going to drive those people to the JStarter world, in which, just like IKEA creates an architecture of an experience that necessarily exposes people to other aspects of the company, or like Amazon does, or like iTunes.com does. JStarter will also ensure that people who come to the JStarter universe will also be exposed to exciting, new Jewish creative works, ventures, and opportunities that will entice them and motivate them to continue exploring on the website. We can collect a tremendous amount of important data from this experience that we can then leverage for all sorts of amazing ideas, including continuing to expose them to new ideas and ventures that they might want to fund, to showcase events and regional experiences that they might be willing or wanting to participate in, and also to better understand our clientele, which is information that we can use and monetize in so many ways that are yet to be discovered. In conclusion, JStarter offers opportunity for an infusion of new capital to Jewish philanthropic opportunities and entrepreneurial endeavors that has never existed before. It also presents a platform to generate organic and dynamic new networks to be formed, because it leverages people's personal networks that would never have been accessible before. It also spurs innovation by offering people new opportunities to gain funding and input for their projects and means of collaboration. And lastly, we offer a launchpad for new ventures by helping them get the funding, community support, and guidance that they need, so that 75% of new ventures doesn't need to be 75%, and hopefully we can bring it down as close to zero as possible, while also helping to spur a whole ecosystem of other creative, innovative Jewish expressions that help make the world a better place. JStarter, power Jewish creativity and innovation around the globe, unleashing the power of the Jewish people. Thank you for listening.